What's up? You're off in God's country with Reid
and Dan Isbell,
also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the outdoors. Two things that go together like little bros and asthma.
Or big bros and winning competitions.
Produced by MeatEater and iHeart Podcast.
So hop on up and ride shotgun with us as we take the back roads with some of today's biggest stars and creators behind the songs you know and love.
We got a brother day coming, man.
We're brothers.
Because we're brothers. We're going to sit down with Jacob and Jordan Davis, two Louisianians, big duck hunters, obviously great at writing songs, great at singing songs. Jacob's a songwriter, Jordan's an artist.
Jordan's also a songwriter,
and is also a songwriter. But man,
just good dudes, man.
Grew up a lot like we did. Just the
kind of exactly like we did.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities, a lot of cool stories that they've got that they're going to share with us. If you like brothers and like the country music and the outdoors, you're gonna love this podcast. So stick around and hang out with us. What are we gonna call it? We need to do like a brother.
This is a brother day, man.
Like a brother series.
Heck yeah, man. The Brothers Pod.
The Brothers Pod.
Dude,
for sure,
we got a
man.
couple of Louisianans. How do you say that? Louisianians.
You really say it like that?
Is that for real?
Yeah, right. Louisianians.
Louisianians.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, couple of mean duck hunters on the couch.
I don't know. We don't really know. We're not a good rating system. Like we think they're good, but we don't really know good.
I can tell you this: if you're going off of this season, you would not say I'm a good duck hunter.
Well, you would not say I'm a good shot.
This is a brutal
good shot, dude.
I feel like you're a pretty good shot, bro.
I was a pretty good shot when me and you
were hot. You were hot the other morning. And I had both of y'all. Y'all came to the farm, dude, and you boys, y'all were on it, dude. I was impressed.
Jacob did tell me that y'all can shoot.
They can shoot, man.
I'll tell you this.
That duck hunt.
I'll tell you this. Of the duck hunts of my life,
which are probably 5 or 6.
number one. That was my number one day.
At Jake's?
That makes me happy.
I've tried to describe this to other people, but it was just like, it wasn't just the ducks. It was just like this atmosphere thing that was a very positive, like, I think we just hadn't ever really spent any time outside of the writing rooms together.
That's right.
And when we got in there, it was very supportive, and he was already trying to like downplay it, like, hey man, this ain't no big spot, man. This is just my little spot.
No, he wasn't trying to downplay it. That's exactly how Jacob's farm is.
We slacked them that day.
Dude, they showed up. I mean, it was
we
like
were in the blind, and they're like,
somebody turned the switch,
happening
and
here?
then you get in there, and Jordan knows this too. Y'all know this because we've been on hunts together. But it's like somebody's calling the shot, or all right, y'all take them. That morning, I was like, y'all shoot away, boys. I'm not gonna tell you where to shoot.
Yeah, you did.
If they're on your side of the blind or my side of the blind, whatever, y'all shoot them.
Which is always
we got them.
Which is always like a scary thing as a non-duck hunter being invited to a duck hunt and you're sitting there with a gun, and I mean, like, ducks are flying in front of you, and because you always think about you're waiting on the cut them, or you're waiting on the kill them, or kill that one on the left.
I mean, he would tell us like, all right, like, wait, all right, let's get on, and we'd all pop up and do the thing.
Yeah.
It was like, man, good shot, buddy. Hey man, great way to go, man. You sound good over there. Like, everything was just so positive.
Because I love you, bud. Because I support you.
It was great. I really could have sat out there for another 12 hours.
Well, God, we had fun, man.
I do think that's the duck hunting is fun because it is. You can have a conversation. It's like periods of like hanging out mixed in with like 4 or 5 minutes of like intense, like, all right, stay down,
Totally.
Working. And there's a lot of it goes from like that to that quick.
So fast.
Like, you can be sitting outside hanging out, whatever, and then all of a sudden a group of ducks flying, and everybody's in the hole. Get ready. It's that intense moment. And then, and I will say this, like, me and Jacob and Dan, Jordan couldn't, he was supposed to, but had something come up. But me and Jacob and Dan just spent a few days together or a couple days together in Arkansas, but Tennessee, it's weird.
Yep. On Mississippi River.
Yeah, and
went through Arkansas to get to a Tennessee lease
on the Mississippi River.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
That's pretty good.
Dude, we hunted all day the first day, and Jacob wasn't there. But dude, I was exhausted after it, and we didn't do nothing but sit in a duck blind and shoot shotguns all day.
Yep.
But somebody said at the end of the day, they were like, "Yeah, man, because it's so up and down all day long. You're in tents, you're back, you're chilling, you're talking, you're eating a sausage biscuit, you're shooting ducks again. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I was exhausted after.
I know,
those couple
but
days.
the camaraderie of it. I mean, me and Jordan hunted yesterday. Yeah,
yesterday morning.
And not throwing any songwriters under the bus, but I had a couple songwriters buddies with me, and they were missing some ducks. You know who you are.
That's what was funny. You talked about Jacob calling shots because I got yelled at and then garholed because I called a bad shot yesterday.
Bro, you yelled. There is a mallard drake coming in at daylight, and I'm talking about coming in the hole.
Your place.
This story has already started.
And
wrong.
Jordan, and it comes over. Our buddy Ray Fulcher.
Oh yeah.
Ray's at the front of the line, and Jordan goes, Ray, shoot that duck. And that duck's like, wah, wah, wah.
No, it's not. That is not.
And I was like, why did you do that? And then it's like, well, you know how brothers are, bro. It's like, everybody else in the duck hole is kind of looking like, man, I think Jordan and Jay about to get into it a little bit here. And Jordan's like, dude, that duck was not. We got to take those shots, bro.
Because they were circling the hole all morning, so it wasn't at daylight. We had seen a few flights.
Okay.
Then landing back behind where we were at.
So y'all in the same hole we hunted.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just
when you
weren't in
say
the blind.
behind,
We were just in the timber behind the blind.
Gotcha.
That little reservoir behind him,
Yep.
there was probably 40 ducks on the water. They were talking to us all morning.
Okay.
So they would circle our hole and then pick those ducks up and they would go land with them.
Yep.
So I said, we got to start shooting these when they're swinging. And so a mallard comes around, swings right above us. And I said, shoot that bird, Ray.
Because you're obviously wanting the people who've come to your blind to get some shots in.
Sure,
so I'm like, shoot the bird, Ray.
I've
And
noticed that in
it's
duck
followed
hunting.
by, shut up, Jordan. Shut up.
I feel like this. I feel like there's some more truth coming from this side of the couch. Right?
Oh, dude, we got older brother couch and younger brother couch.
I know, but y'all know
We're gonna
that.
be
It's
battling.
just like we've been like that our whole life. Same as y'all.
Yeah.
Who's older?
I am just under 2 years older.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. We got big brother couch and baby brother.
Oh, no doubt.
right.
Little
We got
bro
big
club.
big brother couch.
hold it down over here.
Couch. You know what I'm saying? We got two.
I don't know.
That's
man.
where they put the
Bitch brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's why we get garholed.
We could go into some, but I would venture to say we probably shoot better. Probably, you're probably better.
Well, right off the bat, we're better looking. We got to know that.
Look at this.
Oh,
Look at this
having
hot
quick.
couch.
Look at
Look at this
that,
hot
dude.
couch.
Having
Happened fast.
That's why we're in the
Up.
middle and they're in the corner.
Happened fast. Happened fast. I'm not surprised that we're already there. Hey, I enjoyed watching Marsh work.
Yeah, dude, he's doing great.
Listen, if
Marsh is my black lab.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Marsh is Jacob's dog.
If I could go back in time and start duck hunting at a young age and have a dog, I would totally do that. I can't do it now because I just...
Well, it's a lot of work, but
yeah, and I have too many other things. I always say this. I feel like you have this amount of bandwidth, right? And you have to give so much to so many different things, whether it's music or writing or your wife or your kids, what you have going on. And I recognize that in order to have what you need to be a good duck hunter, it requires more than what I have available.
I totally
you know
get
what I'm
that.
saying?
That.
I'm not hating on the sport. I love it. And me and Reid still dabble in, man. Oh, if we could pick up a farm, man. yeah, we get over there and put a, like
We just need something for January.
Before you know it, we're like looking at $700,000 spots that we can't, But I'm just saying, it requires a lot, right?
Sure.
But man, I get, especially with the dog situation.
Yeah.
I think maybe because we just love dogs, but watching, there's something really nice about watching an animal have the best time. I'm talking about enjoy every second and satisfying some innate thing that we don't have that they have. Like that is fun to watch.
Yeah.
And you could tell Marsh was eating it.
Oh, bro. And even just you saying that, I feel like a proud dad. We haven't even talked about my 3 beautiful daughters, but we're talking about my black lab.
They're great.
We'll get to them. We'll get to
I'm
that.
a proud dad.
Marsh is a
thank you
beast.
so much for saying that, Dan. I'll tell him whenever I get home.
No, it was fun to watch. I mean, even in like a long shoot thing that he wasn't really, I mean, shoot as in like he had to come up like a AC duct to even get in the blind, right?
Oh yeah, it was a weird entry into where the dog box was.
It was just throwing.
And he
him
never
in.
hunted it, and I think they kind of get that whole thing. Like, if I'm comfortable, he knows. Like, all right, Dad's got me. I'm good.
So what makes it how do you, I heard you saying yeah, he's a beast. He's a great duck dog. How do you know a duck dog is going to be a good duck dog?
Man,
or do you not?
I don't think you do, Dan.
Okay.
I think it's a pick of the litter because Marsh, I got him from West Tennessee. and he's got some brothers that are just like,
really.
And I know the owner. They're like, man, is your dog a good dog? And I'm like, yeah, man, he's a good dog. He's like, I might have got the turd of that bunch.
Okay, so what makes a good dog?
Man, I think there's different characteristics. Obviously, obedience is number one, but you want a high motor in a black lab, and you want them just to kind of endure the slow periods of duck hunting, like you were talking about, Reid. The lulls in duck hunting, which there are a lot, and when it gets quiet and it's cold and he's just sitting on a box and he's looking at you, you don't want a lot of the
that's annoying. Yeah, that's annoying.
So a really vocal dog is not really, honestly, is just not a good thing in a duck dog.
I heard you say in the blind the other day, because when he first got in there, he was doing a little bit of that.
I was about to get to that.
And the first duck goes down, boom, he busts out the blind, swims up there, gets it turned, comes back.
Quiet.
He's good.
Silent.
And that's what
it's that first bird.
Never heard him again. And
Jacob looked at me. I was by the hole by Jacob and Marsh watching him, and Marsh was. You could hear him down there. He was eager, man. It was like a horse before a race,
That's right.
or like a football player coming out of the tunnel. Like he was so amped up to be there, and he knew what was going on. He knew ducks were flying, and shots were being shot, and he was just like. Jacob was like, hold on, Marsh. About that time, he jumps out the box, goes and grabs the first duck. And he does. He comes back, throws the duck to Jacob, gets in his hole, and you didn't hear a peep. Quiet. He was chilling. Yeah. And Jacob looked at me and goes, he just needed that one. He just needed to get that one.
Get it out of his system.
That first one of the day.
That was cool, man.
And his hole, when the same one y'all are in, Jake's, Marsh can actually see the ducks for a weekend. It's pretty cool to watch him. And if he's locked into a spot,
what?
You mean looking up? And that is from the good Lord, bro. He watches the sky,
cool,
and I
man.
can be talking with Jordan and
that.
look at Marsh, and his eyes are up, and I'll look up, and he's watching ducks.
See, that's even cool, man. Cool. I didn't even know that happened.
Oh, yeah. And, man, that's pick of the litter. I train him. I work with him almost every day. Paid good money to have him trained.
Sure.
But he's just a good dog, man.
I got a chocolate lab.
That makes me so proud.
I got a chocolate lab named Merle, and
great name.
He would be a badass duck dog. But
we think, dude.
Except he's the best ass frisbee dog now.
Dude.
Like he is. Yeah. Same demeanor as Marsh, like eager to go. And when I launched that frisbee, bro, he's gone and he's catching everyone.
Isn't it amazing? Like that's what they were brought in the world to do,
for sure.
And that's all they want to do.
Yeah, man. I've got a bloodhound and him. And we can go out into the backyard or I can take them on a walk or whatever. And Maybelle is going to dig up moles and she's going to smell everything. Yeah. Bloodhound.
She will literally put her nose, like if you're on the couch, she'll put her nose, like a centimeter from your mouth. Just like, she won't lick you, she won't touch you, but she'll get as close. Like all she wants to do is smell the world.
And then Merle just jump on you and throw a frisbee on your face.
And all Merle wants you to do is
throw a ball. Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's a lot of work, a lot of time. But, man, it's fun to watch them. I could sit and watch them work in a duck blind all day, even if you're not killing ducks.
Oh, for sure.
It takes it to another thing.
Yeah.
Like even, we hadn't done a lot of duck hunting, but duck hunting without a dog, like that first day we were there, we didn't have a dog. We just sent, the kids out there to get them. But
batch them up, boy.
Yeah. All right, it's time. But you bringing in, it just changed the hunt, man. It was more fun to shoot a duck and watch Marsh go work for it. And you hang out the blind, bah! Marsh, he can't see me. Marsh,
yeah, he can't see me. These hay bales are too big. He can't see me. Marsh, bah! Marsh, no.
Which I have your leash, by the way. You left it in the blind.
Oh, I left it in there.
He did bring up like a 2-week-old dead goose that was ripe.
Marsh got it.
Nasty. Oh yeah. Marsh went and got it, brought it up, and even Marsh knew, like, whew, I don't need to be touching that thing. He just dropped it at the foot of the box.
Dude, it's probably as big as Marsh was.
It was big. I guess we need to explain where we were. We got invited to go to this Island 34 with a buddy of ours, Rusty Vi, who's kind of keeping it.
Shout out Island 34.
Basically,
Rusty, I'm so sorry. I promise you next year I'm there, man.
Well, you're not getting invited next year. We're moving on.
That's the thing, man. You miss your shot.
You miss your shot, dude. You're out. No, we just got back from that. It was a lot of fun. We killed a lot of ducks.
It was awesome.
Great vibe. Great. Told some good stories. Y'all drank a lot of whiskey. I didn't.
I don't believe that.
Because I don't.
No, Dan keeps stay pretty mild these days.
Yeah.
I just can't anymore. I feel like I talk about this every podcast. I just can't do it anymore, man. I'm just not. cool anymore.
Yeah, dude. Lumbar support.
Tired. Lumbar support. Yeah. Matter of fact, we need some more support on this couch right now.
Right?
Actually. Yeah.
No, I only drink bourbon during hunting season. I don't know what it is. Like, truly, after that was our last hunt.
Didn't you kind of say that too? You do kind of do the same thing.
Same thing, and then I'll probably switch to tequila when it starts warming up.
Sounds like a problem.
Yeah,
A bit of an issue.
You talk to somebody?
Do you need to talk more about it? You want to lay down on this
Actually,
couch?
dude,
This isn't a
podcast.
That's what this
We're here
is.
because we love you like crazy.
Come on out. Come on out,
You
guys.
clowns. Yeah. Golly.
We're gonna send you to a real nice place.
Yeah.
Did you get into some good hunts this year?
I did, man. We had some great hunts in Arkansas. We got a friend of ours that runs White Oaks in Arkansas. Is great. Just
Is that like a jam up spot?
Yeah, it's awesome. And then, but I mean, to be honest with you, our best day was at Jake's. I guess New Year's Eve, we went over there. And
Yeah, that's right.
Me and Jake got into him real good, and
Just
it was just me
y'all
and
two?
him, man.
Bro.
Which is
That's got to be
That's
fun.
the thing. That's it, right?
I think we had better numbered hunts and probably shot more mallards on some other hunts, but that day was pretty special.
Yeah.
that's gotta be cool,
Are
man.
y'all shooting spooners and everything, or how does that work?
Dude,
I mean,
this season, if it was in range, we were shooting. it.
Gotcha.
That morning
Jacks,
was all mallards, man.
That morning
we
was
had
yeah.
we had a
it
big
was
day.
First duck was the first band that he's killed at his farm.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
wow! I didn't know you
First
could have
duck
done
I killed that morning was a banded greenhead from
Really?
Saskatchewan,
No
2018.
way.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it was wild.
And when 2000 what?
2018.
So that duck's 5 years old.
Old mallard.
Is that old for one? I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. Five and plus is an old mallard.
Gotcha.
How did they do? Like, how do they ban those ducks?
So they a lot of times they'll shoot a cast net out over, try to catch them on a roost.
Okay.
Or sometimes they can bait them into boxes, but typically I've seen the net over the top of them, and then they go out there. Ducks Unlimited and Delta Waterfowl have great programs in doing that, and that's just to study age, migration, survival rate,
Yeah.
more or less. But that's how they do it. It's pretty wild to watch.
There's a guy on Instagram. He's Cohen Labs. He does a lot of banding programs in West Tennessee, which is right around our farms.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to keep up with him and
Wait, what is it? I want to follow.
Cohen Labs.
Cohen Labs, yeah.
So they're just kind of keeping up with the numbers in West Tennessee. And
How are the numbers? Honestly, do you know?
I mean, I think this year, the last I've seen, it's been a lot of the bands have been older birds, which is, I think,
Not really what you want.
it's not ideal.
not.
I think
That means just like the breeding, and they're breeding up in really in southern Canada.
Yeah.
That just means the breeding numbers are down,
Gotcha.
and everything's a hypothesis. We don't really know why numbers are down. It's just like we got to do something about it. Is it because it's too dry up in the prairie region, and they have to have water to breed, and are we losing numbers of hens? There's so many rabbit holes into that, man, that I
interesting,
love.
man.
I'm fascinated by
I feel
it.
like
But we've been doing it our whole life.
confused
And I
now
think it's
on-
like
listen to so many podcasts and
Yeah.
read stuff about like why they're down or why we had the season we had, and it's just kind of it's
a lot
pressure.
of talks on like, do we need to drop down to like a 30-day season next year? Do we need to drop down from killing 4 mallards to 3 mallards? Would that do something?
So do you think that what I'm gathering is that there's a thesis that hunters are affecting numbers?
Yeah, for sure.
Huh.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it would be kind of crazy to not think that we have something to do with it.
Right.
Depending on, I mean, I'm sure some people would say more impact than less, but like, and I kind of approach it as like, okay, if they come out next year and say you can only kill 4 mallards
Yeah.
and you got a 45-day season, I think anybody that loves the sport would be like, okay, obviously this is for the better
Yeah.
of duck hunting in the future.
Sure.
So even if they were to come out and say like, hey man, let's
just take a year off.
It's a year off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, let's figure out why we didn't see the numbers of birds we were expecting, and I would gladly hang a shotgun up for a year.
Yeah.
Maybe not gladly, but I'd do it.
I mean, if I knew that like my
It's
kid
for the
was
better
going to
of
get
it.
the duck
Yeah,
hunt
yeah,
and
I get it,
experience
I
what
get it.
we,
No, I know.
Yeah.
Do you see that as time as like from when you were younger duck hunting around? Do you feel like the numbers have declined? Like you used to have better hunts or better seasons compared to now that you're having lesser numbers? Or
We've always kind of had to scrape them out. I mean, me and Jacob grew up, deer hunters, and then weren't seeing any deer, and we saw a bunch of wood duck light in
Let's go shoot those.
And my
pond.
dad stumbled on wood ducks in a deer stand, and he's like, "Hey boys, we ought to sneak down there and see if we can get some of the wood ducks."
That's exactly how we got into.
I was
the
like
duck
for real.
10,
Wow.
Dang.
and we both fell in love with it. But the numbers in Louisiana in particular have declined, but it's primarily in South Louisiana, and a lot of that is sugarcane farmers and crawfish farmers. So they're turning these rice fields, which ducks love. They're turning them into crawfish and sugarcane. Is more profitable in a lot of ways, and ducks can't do anything with sugarcane or crawfish ponds.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm mad at that because I really love crawfish.
Me too,
man.
Golly, me too.
Love crawfish.
We got to cook some this year.
We don't get them up here. I mean, you got to like nearly special
I'll
order
get you
'em.
some up here.
Okay.
I got a crawfish guy.
I had a guy
Jack's got a
too.
crawfish guy.
You gotta have a guy. You gotta have a guy. Dude. You gotta go for it.
I had a guy, man, but remember those we cooked? Those were pretty good at Cody. Or was it your thing or Cody's thing over there we cooked?
Oh, for before me and Jordan got married.
What was that place? What's that
I
called?
don't got a clue, bro. They were fire though. They were gas.
Yeah, well, y'all know Jean-Paul.
Yeah, Jean-Paul Bourgeois.
So he told me how to cook. I called him. I was like, "Hey, dude, tell me how to cook these." He told me exactly how to cook them. I followed the recipe to a T, and they were straight.
Well, if anybody knows how to do it, that dude knows how to
That
do
dude
it.
knows how to do it. Yeah, for sure. They're good though.
Yeah.
I love crawfish. Did Duck eat crawfish?
No.
I don't know if.
Really?
I mean, there's some
Too
ducks that'll
big.
go
That seems
after
like
it.
something a duck would eat. If I was a
crawfish?
duck, I would eat one. Yeah, dude, like a little ass crawfish walking around.
I don't know if you'll catch a. I don't know if you catch a mallard
so.
eating crawfish.
That's how much I don't
They'll
know
eat
about ducks.
crustaceans. I mean, they'll eat.
I
Like,
mean, that's a good.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
They'll eat
a
what?
decent question.
Crustaceans.
they'll eat like little.
Bro.
Yeah.
He just said they'll eat crustaceans.
They'll eat
What
like
is a crawfish?
invertebrates and
Invertebrates.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of blowing my mind. I just
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
they
they'll eat
ate
invertebrates.
flooded
Jeez,
corn
man, these
because that's
guys,
what
I
they're all.
swear.
They
I'll
all
tell you
are.
what. Hey,
Did they only eat corn and rice, dude? That'd be like
Yes,
us
I do.
only eating fried chicken, which I could do. I could gladly do that.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. Let's mix it up a little.
Hey, we got a couple duck calls sitting on this table. Me and Dan are. What would you say? We're duck.
Don't try to
callers.
put yourself in the same category as me because I'm better than you.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give Jacob and Jordan each a duck call.
That's not fair though.
No, I'm gonna
because
let them rock, and then me and you are gonna take
I know,
it.
but what I'm saying is one of them might be better. I don't know. It might be like handing him a Gibson and having him a.
No, I'm
Epiphone.
better. I'm better for sure. I'm better. I think. Would you?
Well, I
you
mean,
say?
I guess we're about to find out.
We're about to find out. That's for sure.
Well,
first
I don't
off-
know how to judge. Nobody in here
That's
knows
right.
who's better.
That's right. Our
First
listeners-
off,
I don't know.
How
If
about
we,
our
have a, if
listeners?
we have a mallard come through this room,
see.
that's the winner.
Our listeners can chime in.
Yeah.
So
All
we're
right,
blowing.
wait, give us a couple.
We're
Just give us
blowing
a.
a King Calls
Yeah.
shout
made
out.
that part out.
Assassin.
Well, shout out.
With the Brothers Hunt logo on it.
So that's your feed call,
Okay.
right?
Is
When they're
it?
feeding on crustaceans.
Are they?
Possibly. I don't know if that's true.
But wait,
you don't know if that's true?
No. I mean,
Oh,
I,
so
no.
still-
I do know that they
my
will
gosh.
eat invertebrates.
Okay.
But I don't know if we just have to shoot a duck and cut it open and see if it's any crawfish.
Fact check. Fact check us.
Wild ducks eat aquatic vegetation as well as seeds, small insects, worms, and small water snails. Larger birds will eat amphibians and crayfish.
Larger birds will eat amphibians.
You're talking about
and
pellets.
crayfish.
Heron
Yeah.
or-
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not a duck.
So yeah,
Okay.
ducks
I don't
don't
think
eat
ducks are
crawfish.
I bet
diving
there's
into
been a duck
crawfish.
eat a baby crawfish over the past
Maybe so.
150
Maybe so.
years. You know.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
All right. So
check
are the ducks actually? I've wondered this because I've heard feeding call right. So are they eating while they're doing that, or are they just kind of like, "Hey, I'm eating over here"?
So
then
that
they eat?
sound
That's like a
mimics-
calm.
That mimics. It's
So-
supposed to mimic a bunch of birds on the water. So
It's
that's supposed
actually-
to sound like
What they say, it's basically like a boundary call. So it's not necessarily saying it
Hey,
means
I'm
there's
eating.
there's birds on the water that are feeding, and that's kind of them saying like, "Hey, this is my area, man. Get away." Like,
Oh, nice.
So it's a feed call because most of the time they're on the water feeding. But yeah, it's actually like a hey man, keep your distance.
Gotcha.
I'm in this spot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool.
yeah, and that's supposed to kind of mimic that.
All right. Let's hear Jordan.
Faster.
That's pretty good.
Does faster mean better?
I don't know.
Maybe more like
I
more
think
ducks.
Jordan might have won.
podcast
I
is this?
think Jordan
Like
won that
more
round, dude. Oh, come on, Lombard. Lombard.
But see, that's the thing.
Couch.
I've always been like the background caller guy. So
Same.
like feed
Same.
calls, that's
Me
my
too.
jam, man.
Okay, so now
Wait, what are you saying? Me
let's
too.
me
You
and
ain't
Reid-
never
all right,
called in
no,
a
you
hole
take the
before.
call. You
What
take the
you talking
call.
about me too.
Can I hand you this?
All right, so what were you just doing? You were doing a hen.
So that's a quack. We were talking about that the other day at the camp, but just a basic quack, which talk about a good like background thing. If they're working, you know, and you've got ducks working, a lot of times I don't like to yell at them. I don't like to do a wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
Just like a.
So what are we trying to do? They're just trying to make them feel comfortable. Like, confidence. Hey, we're just down here chilling.
That's confidence mostly. If they're circling the hole and you think like, oh man, there's a good chance they might come in, you just kind of give them whack, whack, just a little bit.
Give us some
extra
wax.
confidence.
Give us some Jordan Davis wax. I'd come in if I was a duck. I'd be like,
come into that?
Yeah, I'd be like,
Jacob won that round though. I think Jacob won that round.
And then when you've got birds working and you're trying to get them closer to you, when they're over the top of you and they're looking at you, you're not going to really do anything. You want to catch them when they're going away from you with just like a.
That's what they're saying. Turn them.
Yeah. Damn, I can't do that.
And that's a like, oh wait a second, what I miss? And if they're turned, then you're a.
Then you're like left side up the gut. Left side, get ready.
So what about?
Cut him, Reid.
Kill him, Reid.
Shoot him, Ray. Shut up, Jordan. Shut up. That's true. That did happen, and I apologize.
I'm sure, Ray. Man, I'm sorry, man. I thought I was right on that. Man. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Like, I don't know to either shoot the duck or break a fight up.
Ray Fulcher is not going to shoot out from under you. I promise you.
No,
nicest
You're
cat
gonna
in the world.
You're gonna have to break his arm.
You're going to have to tell him
missed
to
a bird,
shoot.
and he's apologizing. I'm like, stop, dude, stop.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, get it. Let's see.
Man,
Come on, Brothers Hunt.
All right, here we go. Who's going first? Reid?
You do the cackle first.
What's the cat?
Or the first thing
call.
you did, the feed call.
That's good.
That's better than I thought.
good.
You were gonna
There ain't
do.
nothing
I'm out
wrong
of
with
practice
that
on
at
my way
all.
up here. I'm out.
Jordan's like, I'm so tired of hearing that. He's been doing that around the house.
Come on now.
Wow, dude.
Wow,
Dan's
Are we about to lose to the
there's a
to the Bros
growl
Hunt,
down there.
dude?
I can't do that.
I thought you were supposed to growl.
That's that old.
I like it.
that.
That's an old
that
mallard
old.
there,
That
mallard.
old lumbar mallard. That's that sciatica mallard.
That's got some miles.
He got to stretch his wings out.
It's that homebody mallard. He don't like to go nowhere.
Hey.
Oh god, dude.
That lumbar mallard.
All right, give us a.
I don't think I'm good at this.
Wait. So do Drake mallards, which is the male, do they make the quack sound?
No, they just go. Meh, meh.
Yeah. It's like a,
That's the only sound.
That
like a
blew my
hum.
mind when I
Sounds
found
like
What's
that.
that thing? What's
Yeah,
that thing? I can't do it.
That's it. That's it.
Heard y'all doing
That's
that.
a mallard Drake.
So that's what they do?
That's what they do.
so all these, all these are coming from the hen.
The hen.
Yeah.
These are all from the hen?
You didn't know this?
that's a hen.
Pretty
No idea.
fascinating.
That's
yeah.
just the hen.
Yeah.
I had no. So it's basically turkey calls.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're only mimicking the hen.
Absolutely. Same thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to do here with the quack? Tell me how we're.
That's just a. Reid's throwing
Quack
a little
into
bit
a
of
little
a hail.
cadence, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's good.
He did. You got a little aggressive.
I'm ready.
You got a little
Sorry.
I already lost.
You
That's
can't
all right.
just
I
blow
call
through it.
right there. I call.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
No,
I mean, dude, no. Here's the thing on this too. It's like
Okay. Nobody wants to hear this.
I honestly think that like
I think I got you on
They
that
don't
one.
want to hear this.
feed chuckles and quacks, like I mean, there's obviously amazing callers out there that can do stuff with birds that.
Now that's funny, dude.
But like the ones that can
no
scream
duck
at
has ever
them,
made that
but
sound.
like it's tough to like turn a bird if you're screaming at it that far. The bird's flying pretty fast.
Yeah.
If you got any wind, there's a slim chance that they're catching you on that. So it's like,
Sure.
if anything, sound like a duck. That's what me and Jacob always talk about, like going out either to a rest area or where there's a bunch of birds and just mimicking what you hear
Yeah,
from
just
that.
listen to 'em.
Like that's the
Yeah.
way to become a better caller. It's like, all right, or put a trail cam in a hole, and if you hunt that hole, try to make those sounds.
Yeah.
So you're telling me different ducks sound. They don't all sound the same.
No, I mean different within the same species.
Yeah.
They have different
I
tones
mean, like
of their
a-
voice, just like us.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's like you have a raspy, old hen that is
It sounds like me.
doesn't
It
doesn't
sounded
get
like
kind
me
of
right
crazy.
there.
It doesn't
lumbar
get loud, but like just the cadence is super. I think for more so like listening to ducks on rest areas or wherever, it's like It's more the cadence of it. But very seldom do you hear one just go
nuts,
berserk, and like just go crazy.
It's kind of the same thing with turkey hunting too, and I feel like as callers, people who like love and are obsessed with the calling of ducks or turkeys or whatever, like they are trying to get that perfect pitch, the perfect tone, the perfect cadence, the perfect whatever.
There is truth to that duck. I mean, like the pitch. I know I can sit in the blind with Keith Allen or whoever, like the guys that are unreal callers, and it's like you just want to tuck your lanyard in a box and be like, I'm not, I can't do what that guy does.
But at the same time, like turkey hunting, man, like if you go and listen to hens and you're not a great mouth caller or you're not a great box caller, there's probably a hen out there that sounds like you.
Right.
Even if you're not, like you just go out there and blow a duck call a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe try to get some birds in. You don't have to hit that perfect.
No.
Yeah.
It seems a little snooty though. I'm gonna be honest. In the blind, it seems like, hey, this guy and this guy are the callers, so you guys chill out.
It can get very snooty.
Sometimes it can, bro. It's like
okay. I thought I was sniffing that up.
Because here's my thing too. It's like, and I remember early on being like, I would go hunt with better callers, and if I didn't call, I get 60 days to do it to see if like actually I'm moving birds. So it's like, how am I ever going to get better at this if I only hunt with people that like I just shoot?
That's exactly how I felt.
So like
I won't even take mine out of my pockets. I'm terrified.
Yeah. So it's like,
and I hate that it's that way, but it is that way. And there's a lot of people that are like, I've had people tell me like, hey man, if you go to somebody else's camp, don't take your dog, don't take your calls.
Really?
which is kind of an unwritten rule, or I guess maybe even more so.
But obviously, I hunted with y'all at this place.
You broke that rule.
I don't care.
You brought both, and your dog pissed on people's waders. And
sure, dude.
Took a doo-doo in there, man. He boo-booed right there on the...
Oh, dude,
Marshall. I was like, no, Jacob's got this dog. He says it's well-trained. He comes in there like pissing on everything.
Bro,
dude.
Marshall clear out quick, man.
He will.
He will clear out.
Man, he can. I tell you what, that dude can go get a duck.
He can, man. He looks good doing it too, man.
But yeah, there's a foundation of some the brother thing that's happening, and I don't really know where we're gonna go with that right now. But I'm just saying, let's talk about some brother stuff, whatever that means. How you guys grew up? Did y'all like? So me and Dan had a room together. We had a king size bed that we actually got later in life, but we had a one of those things, a stuffed animal snake. That would go.
That was the divider.
He would get close to the line.
And if you got across the snake, the other one got the punch.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't cross the snake without getting a punch.
Hey, can I tell a story I remember? I core memory here. Have not.
Is this the duck story?
No.
Oh.
Core memory here. I have not thought about this in probably 25 years.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
But one time we had the snake. I vividly remember this.
Who won that snake at that fair?
I did.
Of course you did. You probably hit some shot.
Yeah, 3 baskets.
When I did, when I actually won it, the brother thing, bro.
Yeah,
the older brother always takes the
flick of the wrist.
I did that.
Flick of the wrist. Flick of the wrist.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So the snakes divided me and Reid, and he would always sleep as close to the snake as he could. He was little, young. He's 4 years younger than me. Like, I'm not saying.
What are you talking about? I would sleep as close to the snake sleeper. I would just sleep on my.
He was a snake sleeper.
I had this much room.
You're a sneaky snake.
You had to sleep close to the snake. So did you.
So
it was a twin size bed. What are you talking about? You had it.
Middle of the night. I'm just going to use your arm for this.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Scoot over.
Okay.
So I'm dead asleep, right? And this hand just goes. And I was like, man.
And then it comes back.
Comes back. Right. So the next time it does this, it's like 10 minutes pass, right? And I'm like, okay, he's good. And it's like, and I went, woo, and threw it as hard as I could, and bro, it went, pow, and hit him right in the nose. And he goes,
back
You were dead asleep.
Dude,
so he doesn't know what happened
to the world.
He's
man.
like, so I remember him going, something hit me in the nose. Something fell on my nose. And my mom walks in, his nose is bleeding.
Oh, God.
She's like, oh, my God, Dan. I was like, what? I act like I was asleep.
What
I was like,
happened?
what happened? She was like, I know you hit him in the nose. I was like, I technically didn't. But I remember that.
He technically hit himself.
Slinging your arm as hard as I could, and it did a perfect, like, pow, right in.
Busted nose.
I mean, right in the nose.
God.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
That's okay, man.
Me and Jordan had bunk beds.
Yeah.
We shared a room.
I don't know why we did. That would have made a lot more sense.
So Jacob was on the bottom bunk, I was on the top bunk, and I had
lumbar.
Still this day, due to more lumbar support down there.
You need to take it easy over there, Big D.
I'm sorry.
So
it's all making. It's like everything's coming together. Why the support?
Hey, can we kill
there.
his mic for just a second?
Jacob Lumbar Davis. That's
our first like legit fight was at like 3:30 in the morning because I was sleeping on top.
How old were you?
I was probably like 9 or 10. And I had asthma. I still have asthma.
Little broke out.
Come on, dude.
I got it in my truck.
Freaking insane.
I got it last night. Dude, you never know.
Yeah.
Dude, I might have to hit that.
Yeah.
You never know.
Hit that inhaler.
So I have asthma.
You're strapped right now.
Dude,
stay strapped.
Stay strapped.
Yeah.
Got to.
Okay.
It used to
Especially
be
in Huntsies
bad.
when it gets cold.
Yeah.
Keep that thing.
I need that albuterol, bro. I need that hit.
Dang.
Okay.
So I wake up in the middle of the night to Jacob just hammering me, dude. Hit me in my side,
It was
my
with a
arm.
pillow, bro. I wasn't punching you.
No,
I hit
you
with a
started
pillow.
with the pillow, and then you started
low
punching
blow.
me.
That boy would snore, son.
And
I'm talking about
I
call the
was
dogs.
snoring, wheezing, like I couldn't breathe. It's not like I was like
You were
know,
dying pretty much. Yeah.
No, you weren't, because you did that too.
And
weren't
dude,
dying.
he's just wearing me out, and I was like, I'd like jump off the top bunk. I was like, I guess, like I'm not gonna just keep getting hit.
Yeah, sure.
So at 3:30 in the morning, we're wrestling around. My dad, dude, I'll never forget my dad's face walking in there, woken up out of dead sleep to his two boys and
Just hearing
just
that
punching
rolling.
at each
dude,
other.
Probably
He's
standing
just
there in
like-
his whitey tighties.
Yeah, whitey
ready to
tighties,
whoop
like,
some ass.
what the hell's going on? I'm like, he started punching me. And
It's
Jacob's like,
3:30 in the morning.
yeah. And Jacob's like, he's snoring. He wants to snore. I can't sleep.
I can't live like this.
I was like, God, dude. So yes, there was just as much like fight, but bunk beds saved us from that. If we'd had to do the snake route,
Dude.
Well, I was always like,
he'd have smothered me, dude.
well, I
thought about it.
first off, Reid was significantly small for his age, always up until like 21. And I was
Like
significantly
4'9"
large.
as in high school, bro. Like
Really?
tiny.
So I could never like
I could shoot
really,
the lights out.
I
bro.
was
I was small.
I could kill him. Like I could kill him.
Yeah.
You know? And so we never really like fought. Have I told that story?
No, not on this.
Not on this?
First and only times Dan's ever been punched in the face.
I've been in a bunch of fights.
What about you?
But I've only been punched in the face twice.
Oh, you got to tell that. Y'all told us
bro,
at that
dude.
restaurant.
So-
So it's just hilarious.
I honestly was like a pretty good big brother. There was but there was a 2-week period that I clearly
2
remember.
weeks.
I was like,
talk about
just-
6 years.
I know, but I mean like overtly a jerk. You were way smaller, so there wasn't a whole lot I could do. Anyway, I come in.
Dan would had football practice after, and I think I had some practice or whatever, but I would get home before Dan would this certain time of the year.
It's not a really great story, so we're gonna not make it 45 minutes.
It's not a great story because you got knocked out.
So I come in, Reid's playing. It was like Punch Out or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm playing.
Nintendo, yeah.
I'm like, I'm playing. He's like, okay, man, like I'm almost done. I was like, nah. Now play. I'm playing right now. He was like, what? And I was just like, dude, closet.
He would throw me into, and this is not the first time. He would literally. He was big. He was that size in 8th grade, and I mean, like the freaking water bottle.
They
He
call
would
him
pick me
cricket.
up. He'd pick me up, and when he'd get mad at me, he'd throw me in, like just toss me into the closet, and I would hit the clothes, and then like just slide down the
clothes would
into
like
the bottom
fall
of the,
on him.
Yeah,
He kinda
and I would just be
muffle his
laying there like,
cries, you know.
Kind of buffalo cry.
yeah, and I would sit there. I would sit there in the closet every time and just like
Just steam, yeah.
steam. Just think about how unfair it is that I'm tiny. How unfair it is that I can't play Punch Out. You know, when I want to.
That was unfair. I will agree.
And so
that
Dan,
was a bad
I'm
moment.
sitting there just steaming in the bottom of the
So
closet.
it was a rule that we didn't hit in the face because it was like, dude, I could kill you. You know?
Yeah.
Sure enough, man, I'm like up, down, left, right, B, A, B.
That's Contra. That's Contra
Bow,
for
dude.
Eternal
I'm talking
Lives.
about West Ankle, son. He comes, Kaya. And I was like, and I just immediately launched onto him and just held him down, had him down by his knees. His arms were across his body. And I was holding them with my hand and I had my fist up and I was like, hey, man, you know we don't punch in the face. Dude. I could kill you. He
I was going, I'm so sorry.
he
Dad.
was going, I know you can kill me. Please don't kill me. And I was like, my fist is the size of your face. And if I came down on you right now, I would punch your face. And he was like, I know. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. It will never happen. Dude, if you let me up,
it will
never
happen.
Because I was saying Jake was always stronger than me. So it's like,
so I raised up.
Had to, if I ever was getting, I had to just cheap shot him.
You had to get him in when you got to get him in.
So I pop up and I'm like, dang, man, I can't believe he just hit me right in the... And this time, it was all black.
Hit you again.
Hit him again. Dang right, dog.
Straight, same spot. And this time it was like kind of templely jaw.
Oh, yeah. He rung your
So
bell.
he got in my thing and I saw black. And then I was like, I am fixing to murder my brother. And I turned around and the door was already going... swinging, and I could hear him going, Mama! He's running down the stairs as fast as he could. And I got in trouble.
Jack the jaw, dog.
Which I always got in trouble.
Hey, played punch out the next time for a little bit longer.
That's right.
And you know what, man? As I got in trouble, my dad got on me, made me stay in my room. And as I was staring up at my ceiling fan going around like this, I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that, man. I should be a better brother.
See?
And I've been a better brother ever since.
There you go.
That's what
sometimes you gotta get jawed.
That's what a right cross will do to you, man.
I found out real quick when Jordan was, because I was, until early high school, I was bigger.
Yeah.
And then that boy kind of got some inches on me, bro. And I was like, dang, first time he threw a punch at me in the yard, dude, it came close to my chin. I was like, dude, if I connected, he would have knocked me out.
I'd have been.
So then you start picking your battles, It's like, man, that boy's getting big. I might have to watch it. But
that was my dad said the same thing. He's like, y'all can fight, just don't punch each other in the face.
That's exactly what I was.
That's how it was.
And take it outside.
Yeah. And don't break anything.
You remember when you had that giant beard? You used to have a giant beard.
Yeah.
What was the? You just liked it? I liked it too. It was a cool look.
Yeah.
For you.
I mean,
still pretty giant. It was
crazy big.
Really.
Mm-hmm. Like my wife still looks at our wedding photos and she's like, how did I allow this to happen?
I remember
it was pretty unreal.
It's tame now, but
it was wacky, but it was cool. It fit your whole thing, but it was, I mean, we're friends. I can say it was wacky, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Bro,
it was cool.
If you would have passed me at that time, you'd probably been like, I should probably help that old boy out. No, I'd probably give him a buck.
He could use a little change.
There was like a mountain man chic thing kind of going on.
Yeah, the hair slicked back.
Yeah, it was a good look, man. I think you look great.
Thanks, Dan.
I was just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that too is just like having to like kind of break, like have a different look. I think an early artist, you're kind of like, what kind of stands out?
Coming onto the music scene, you kind of got to, not your shtick. I don't like using the word shtick. You know what I mean? But it's
I think you just got to do something that stands out.
You talking about the guy with the beard?
Yeah, and that's slick back hair, the beard.
It was that. It was the guy with the beard.
A talking point.
It was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like something to stand out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a solid point. It was that. It was the guy with the beard.
Who moved to Nashville first? Did y'all move together?
I moved here first. We both went to LSU together. Right. Lived together at LSU. And I was playing in bars and like doing the whole thing 3 nights a week. And
Did you have a band?
This dude, no, just solo.
Oh, nice.
And this dude would just come in carrying a guitar, like an extra guitar case and like a speaker on the PA, because I carried all my stuff. He'd get in for free.
They wouldn't charge me.
And he would just booze on that band tab.
Yeah. Nice.
And so I'd be, that's little, you talk about little brother couch, bro? Yeah. That's like, he had it figured out.
Yeah.
And so when
shots for everybody, man.
I graduated from Nashville and I graduated from LSU and then moved to Nashville and then, signed a publishing deal. And when Jordan graduated from LSU, he was like, man, I don't think I really want to go to work in the oil field. And I was like, what do you want to do? And he was like, man, I kind of been writing songs. I was like, come on, bro. I was like,
come on.
Man.
Yeah. I was like, man, you're doing it. And like he would always send me like, I remember the night that I like truly like was like, no, I'm moving to Nashville. It was Travis Meadows was doing Listening Room. And Jacob sent me like a video of Travis, who I love.
Yeah.
Like great songwriter.
Killer. Yeah.
And I was like, it's just like a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And I'm in Baton Rouge, like about to go to bed to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work. And I was like, I don't think I want to do this. I'm going to give this Nashville thing a shot.
Feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was when he moved up here, it's like Jordan initially was going to just write songs. Yeah. That was what he was going to do. I was going to do the artist thing. And you talk about things being flipped.
Yeah. Swippy swap.
Dude. Yeah, dude. That's a good Lord there, man.
He was absolutely
playing, all through Baton Rouge, and had built a pretty good following, and then moved to Nashville, signed a deal. I moved to town. I was just like trying to write songs for him.
Yeah.
because
How wild is that?
To get,
I know. That's bizarre, man.
Wow. It's like he was starting to get interest from labels, and I was like, well, man, maybe I can get on first record or have like his first single. We started writing.
Crazy?
I'm about choked right there. Yeah, because it's so crazy.
We started writing Detours, which was on one of my EPs. We started writing that for Jacob.
Cool.
And then flipped around. I recorded it like 3 years later. But yeah, and then I started getting people started asking about me as an artist, and I'd never played a full band show before. So I had to learn pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally flipped now. Now he stays at home and writes songs.
But we end up both signing.
Yeah.
We end up both signing record deals.
I remember
on
that.
different labels, Black River and Universal. And we were going on radio tour like the same time. So we would pass each other. We'd go to radio stations, and my 8x10 would be up there, and he would just pin his 8x10 on top of mine.
Smooth over it.
I'm not kidding. Love that. And sign it. And and radio stations loved it. You know?
Yeah.
But we were just kind of like passing in the night, and it was just kind of a whirlwind, you know. And
did you ever actually see each other at the same station?
We never played I was like,
we never did a radio show together.
When we toured the Northeast, the radio tour in the Northeast, we were like a week behind each other.
Wow.
So like I was coming in like right after him. We never did a radio show together. But I mean, our first singles came out about the same time.
Wow.
Dude, you know what, man? I can tell the story now and laugh
This
about
is
it.
like a Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
brother,
yeah.
Your mom split jerseys.
Yeah.
And dude, I remember my single they'd released to radio, and Jordan's single they'd released to radio, and I'm in a Suburban like with my radio rep, and man, we're fighting, dude, just trying to get like into 55 territory.
It's tough out
you know,
there for a pimp.
and dude, Bobby Bones is on TV. Yeah, Bobby Bones show's on. And he was like, yeah, we got a new artist, Jordan Davis, play his single, dude. And my radio rep just turns out and looks at me, and she was like, that ain't good.
We were cooking, dude.
And I was like, dang, your singles you up. And I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do now. But, it's now it's funny. It worked out the exact way it's supposed to. But at the time, you're like, man, we got to do Thanksgiving together, Christmas together, the rest of our life together.
For sure.
This is flash in the pan, buddy.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
man. And I mean, me and Reid have done it too. It's like you get to a place to where, if he has something go, it helps me out. If I have something go, it helps him out.
And then you'll have success together, and there's nothing better in the world.
No, there is nothing better in the world.
I was supposed to be the artist. Like Dan did the same thing. Dan moved to town way before, 4 years before I did, and then same thing. I failed a couple classes, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's like, you should probably move to Nashville. I was like, great. I've been singing my whole life in church.
Yeah.
And so we started writing songs with Singleton and Tersey and making a thing for me, and then we'd go in and cut them, and I'd go play the shows, and we were riding at Sony one day, and I remember the turmoil of like being miserable on the road and not like that not being for me. As what was going on in my head. And I was like, man, I just want to write songs. I fell in love with the process of creating them, but not going and doing them.
Right.
And I remember we wrote with somebody at Sony and Room 5, and I was just sitting there, and I'd been thinking about it all day long. And Dan was like, what's up, dude? And I was like, dude, I don't think I could be an artist, man. He was like, you just saw Dan's dream. He was just crashing. He was like, what?
That was my cash cow.
What do you mean? What do you do?
We'd already cut a record.
He was like, yes, you are. And I was like,
yeah, you too late, man. You wasted everybody's time.
We're about to have another punch out moment here.
No, you going. You going if I got to tie you to that buzz.
Yeah. And I remember he was like, what are you going to do, man? I was like, dude, I'm going to try to write songs. And I remember that, dude, that was...
And I was like, sure.
I think you need to leave that to Big Bro.
I remember that. That was wild. But y'all already had like a family member up here doing it, right? Like
my uncle, my dad's middle brother is a songwriter up here and had 2 hits on Tracy Lawrence.
That's so crazy.
And so when we were growing up...
What was this hit? What was it?
It was
Better Man, Better Off.
And Today's Lonely Fool.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had another one for Kim Ellens that died at like 45.
Rub-a-dubbing in my tub. He's sleeping in my bed.
Watching my TV.
I like
Scratching my dog's head.
It's a good song.
I think that was a good song. Though.
Yeah, it was a great song. I think it maybe got like top 15, something like that.
Oh, it may have done better than that. Yeah.
May have. I
thought I just know it didn't. It was after. It was the next single after Jukebox Junkie, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe the first
it was on
or
that
second.
record for sure.
So that's like what, early 90s, late 80s?
Early 90s,
I think early
yeah.
90s,
I mean, he just he had those 2 hits, but when me and Jordan were kids, we were back in Louisiana, and he was up here doing it, so we knew
You knew it was a job.
we knew that there are songwriters.
Which is a huge
in Nashville.
advantage.
Huge,
A lot of
dude.
people, I didn't
No
even
doubt.
know you could do that.
Absolutely. That's where all of our friends thought, well, no, Tracy Lawrence, he's the artist. He writes all the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be successful at it. I mean, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of stories where guys come up here and, work
Yeah.
their ass off for 15 years and move back home.
Yeah, for sure.
But to have like, a figure ahead of you, an uncle, to come do it and actually have some success at it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can go do that.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a leg up. You kind of get a, and too, I always say it too, is like Uncle Stan would always come back for holidays and play these songs that weren't cut.
That's cool.
So like even us moving to town, we were kind of like, we had seen great songs that weren't great enough to be recorded. So I think we early on were like, all right, we had a better idea of what made a great song.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
our learning curve got cut a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that. But and then you just kind of, you get up here and you just get around great people, man. You get around, buddies like, you boys, and then like all our core group of friends, and iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
show up in a room and you just learn how to be better every day.
Yeah,
I
man.
think so.
I've told this story a lot of times. I haven't told it on the podcast. Jacob's tired of hearing it. Reed's probably tired of hearing it. But the coldest moment I have in Nashville, your brother pulled.
Oh Lord,
Cold.
No names. No names.
Ice in the veins. It
Wait, what happened?
was the first time we ever wrote. So I'm already laughing. So me and Jacob were in there. I meet him. I'm like, man, this dude's, he's cool, man. Like, but he was on business, dude. He was standing on business back then. Like, he didn't have no time to jack around. Like, we're in here to write hit songs or I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I like this guy because I'm trying to go fishing. I don't even want to be here, right? Beautiful spring day, turkeys gobbling. We in here with this person, and this person has an idea. We already beat up like 30 real bad ideas of this person's, and finally, you can tell we're both just caving, right? Well, let's just get this thing going, dude.
Yeah.
So we start. It's lackluster at best. It gets to be about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and we're on that like 18-minute ain't said nothing.
We ain't got
grind,
nothing.
Grind. Like nobody said nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Just staring at each other.
And I'm just looking out the window like, oh my gosh, dude, but this guy's cool, so like I want to finish it for him, but I don't even know if he's really feeling it. I can't really tell what's happening. After like 10, 12 minutes of silence, Jacob's like, well, I just don't know if this is really going anywhere today, guys. I mean, honestly, look, Dan's not necessarily feeling it. I don't think necessarily I'm feeling it. I mean, are you into this? And the other co-writer was like, well, yeah, I mean, I think it's like a pretty good start to a good song. He was like, yeah, I just don't know. I mean, honestly, like it's 1 o'clock, it's blue skies out there. I got to walk my dog or something. Like, maybe we could just wrap this on. And I was like, while he's saying that, I'm like,
He's loading up his guitar
I was
case.
loading my stuff. I couldn't wait to leave.
I did.
Man.
I looked at Dan. I was like, I don't think Dan's really feeling it. I just called him out.
And I was like, and I didn't even know how to
I know
react.
Dan was probably like, I like writing songs.
It's not,
I mean, I'm okay if you guys
I'm
are
not
okay,
saying
but
it's
if you guys
great,
aren't
but
okay,
it's definitely not bottom of the barrel unless we want to try to get out of here. And dude, I got the truck. And I called him. I was like, oh, bro, thank you. You're my best friend now. He was like, dude, be honest. You weren't into that. I was like, I was not into that at all. He's
Brother
like,
Jake shut it down, huh?
Oh, dude, we were wasting.
and
we
he
were
was
wasting
a
everybody's
rook
time.
too. Then, like, he wasn't
Yeah.
what he is now. I mean, none of us had any money.
That's true.
but you got to call it like it is
Bro, we
sometimes,
had
man.
terrible guitars, no ideas, and he just like a pro just was like, "Hey, we ain't making money today, obviously." So
Have
we're
y'all
out.
written with
Time is money.
said co-writer?
No,
since?
No.
man.
I don't think you go back in that room once that.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I think that door's closed.
Yeah, we let
When
that
y'all
juju
called
there.
each other, he probably called somebody and was like, "Never again put me with those two guys." One of the dudes
Listen to what
shut
just
the right
happened to me,
down.
yeah.
The other guy looked like he'd rather been fishing the whole time.
All they did was talk about hunting the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a tool that I have taken and put in my belt.
there
you go.
It doesn't get pulled out very often.
That's right.
But if If it does,
but you know how to do it now,
it's the Jacob Davis.
Time is money, boys.
Man, let's talk about Blueberry Days a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Listening to it for me, just like it feels like there's some for you like some redemption in that record of like figuring out with Buy Dirt and next thing you know, figuring out who you are as a man, a husband, a dad, kind of the whole spectrum of that thing for me is what that can you speak to that just a little bit?
Man, that was what we wanted to do with that record, was really kind of came into it, and that was really my second album. I'd done 2 EPs in between them. But you know how everybody talks about like the second album is like anybody can have a good first record, and the second is where we see if there's any staying power there. So you're like coming up with ideas of like what you want to write about and what's this record supposed to be. Yeah. And I told Paul, my producer, I was like, man, let's just make the most honest, real record I can make, and too, being a dad and that's what I write about. Yeah. It's like I can sit here and try to write about, pull on old stories that we do every day, but like there's no heart in that. So we started with, Fishing Spot, a song about missing my grandpa.
Yeah, man. Is that a true, like, kind of just comes from inspiration?
That's where,
that's awesome. Great song.
Toledo Bend in Texas, man. He's the one that taught me how to fish.
Yeah. And talk about how, like, this whole podcast is about, we say where country music and the outdoors meets. Yeah. That is on the X of that spot right there, man. Yeah. Is writing a song about literally a rock that your granddad used to sit on. And I'm not, was the line? It's like, I'm not at your stone because I'm sitting on your rock at your fishing spot.
Catching up with you at your fishing spot.
Bro, that's good stuff.
That thing's a hammer.
Because, I mean, like, that's the thing is like, because you can go, he's buried in Hemp Hill, Texas, and I could go to his grave right now and talk to him and feel like I'm there, or I can just go get on my boat and go try to catch crappie, and I'm closer to him than I've ever been.
Preach,
like
that is deep.
And then the memories of just growing up with him and being out there, and it just comes flooding back. So that's exactly where music and outdoors meet. But yeah, and then next thing you know, just how fast, we all got kiddos, and
I ain't gonna trip. I can't even listen to that song, bro.
No, I can't.
I listened to it a couple times, and then literally every time,
I can't.
It's a great song.
Because it's
truth, man.
It's how fast 4 years have gone, and then I'll go even as far as to be like, the times where like I haven't been super present. It's like you come home, like you got one day to kind of regroup, or bath time, like we were talking about before we started.
Bath time, bro.
Where you want to get out of it. You're like, God, dude, this is terrible. And then you're like, oh my God, my daughter's 4 years old.
Oh man, stop, dude. You get me right now, man.
I know, man. Like, but that's all the stuff that we grew up listening to. I know we grew up listening to the same guys, man. It's like Christopherson, Prine, Don Williams. That was always like just 100% honesty in those dudes. Yeah. And it didn't sound like a hit, or it didn't, and there's nothing against a hit. I love hits. Yeah. But like that music was just felt real. Yeah, man. And that's what we try to do with Bluebird Days, is just make the most real, honest record we can make.
How did Buy Dirt go down? Give us that.
We were at a retreat outside of Murfreesboro in a camp, like a cabin. Yeah. It was me and Jordan, and then the other two brothers, the Jenkins brothers.
More brothers.
I love those.
Me too, man. Me too. Just two of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah, they're great.
I
didn't know he was in Green River,
Green River, dude.
That's Josh.
He told me that the other day. And I was
lead singer, right?
He's the guy.
He's the dude.
I didn't know that. I mean, we've been writing, and I had no idea he was that guy.
Oh yeah, dude.
That was a great band too.
Great band. And Matt
still cutting.
They're making records
right now. Yeah, they're making records right now.
Record coming out.
And Matt's a great singer, great writer.
Yeah, they're great.
But anyway, we were at this cabin, and I had actually, I say slept in, but like we'd been up pretty late, and I woke up at probably like 8, and I go to the coffee maker, and dude, coffee pot's almost empty. And these boys, all three of them, Jordan's a pretty early riser, but they're all out on the back porch, just in the Word, man, just reading the Bible, and just kind of trying to get set in for the day, what it's going to be like. And Jordan had this idea. It was called Bought the Farm. And we were all like, dude, I love that. It's really cool. How do we do that? And
which was ripped from a John Prine line. He said, what you can do with time after you already bought the farm.
Yeah. And then Matt Jenkins was like, man, I got this title, man, called Buy Dirt. And I had just come back from 4th of July, been with my wife's family. My father-in-law told this story about his dad that told him, he was like, look, he was looking at a piece of property and his dad told him, he's like, you better go get it, son. They ain't making any more of it. And so I had that in my phone and I was like, dude, there's something that we can do with this. Mm. And it was like, we walked inside, sat around the bar there at the kitchen. It was an hour and a half.
Yeah. Hour and a half?
It was quick.
Yeah, and we wanted to write it like coming from a 90-year-old man sitting on a porch. Yeah. What he would say.
Mm-hmm. What was our grandpa that, he had 2 acres in Stonewall, Louisiana, and had a little fishing pond behind it. And
yeah, bro, that song was long inspired. It might have got it written that day, but it was your
It's like, that's why it happened so fast.
For sure.
Like,
absolutely.
To him, that 2 acres, 3-bedroom house with a purple martin birdhouse and a little pond was everything.
That's everything.
Like,
yeah, man.
You couldn't have told him any different.
That's right.
It was pretty. So that's where that one came from.
Well, I'll tell you, man. This is immediately going to sound like I'm putting other artists down, and I'm not. I feel like in music there are ways you can go, right? Especially when you're writing or when you're cutting a song and putting it out on your record. There are songs, like you said, that are hits, and a lot of times hits can be inspired by your own life, or they can be inspired by other sources, and you're just basically trying to write a song that people love. But y'all have developed a way to be true to who you are and still have hits on those songs. And that's an extremely rare and very beautiful thing.
Wow, thanks, Dan.
That you can keep it family and you can keep it organized, but at the same time, like, these songs are your life. And that's what I appreciate the most about y'all. Not your duck calling and y'all taking us once a year, which we really appreciate.
Yeah, let's keep that
appreciate
going.
That a whole lot.
Let's
Let's keep that popping.
Sure.
But I appreciate the fact that you stay true to who you are, and you're able to build a really beautiful career on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And more power to you. I hope I know you will, because that's all you know how to do. But keep singing songs or keep writing songs about who you are, because
thank you.
Because y'all are great people, and that's why it's so relatable to so many other folks.
And it shows through just having conversations or sharing a duck camp, man. What we talk about, and it is faith, family, the outdoors, and country music, man.
That's right.
And that's kind of where, we all grew up in it. We all are a part of it, and just y'all too. I know, you just live that out, man, in your songs and your stories. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Dude, thanks for
y'all saying
I appreciate that.
No, I mean, like, you could get up there and dance. I'm sure. Can you dance? Can you shake a leg? You dance to your concert?
See me? No, man.
You don't?
No.
Keep it behind the mic, son.
Yeah. I've started to pick the guitar up a lot more on stage in my later years.
I saw you at it was at the how was it? It's not Fanfare anymore. What is it called?
Oh, C Mayfair.
Oh, because you played after Luke or before Luke.
Yeah.
And I saw you and I was like, man, I'm finna go mess. But you were getting like hyped up. You were like,
oh, was I?
You were doing this.
Well, that was my first time I ever played a stadium.
And I was, oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I was like,
I was like,
shaking.
That's not hyped up. I was nervous.
I was like, I think I need to let this pup kind of like, when you get that.
I was on the bus too, like, because Luke was parked right in front of us, and I'm on the bus like 30 minutes out. And I'm just kind of like. And you're just hearing the roar of however many people there is. Sure. And I was like, dude, I've never played a stadium. This is pretty wild. And then Luke comes up on the bus like,
hey, man.
Like it's another Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which it is.
Like, I mean, to him it is. And I'm just like, what's up, man? I was like, dude, this is my first stadium. He's like, oh, yeah, they're cool. And I'm like,
thanks, dude. Crush it. No pressure. Bro. No pressure.
Like, he's looking at me. He's like, yeah, stadiums are nothing, man. I do these every weekend. I'm like, God, dude, I'm kind of nervous, bro.
He's not a great sounding board.
No, his answer was,
what to expect.
Any pointers?
What to expect?
Luke's pointers was, yeah, don't screw up.
There you go.
I was like, what?
Well, you didn't.
I did.
You even hopped down on the little stage.
Oh, dude, I was running all over the place.
He was moving around.
Killed it, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Once it starts, you kind of get excited, but
yeah.
You look really hype in the corner, and I was like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna break this cheese got going on.
Dang, you should have. That would actually like calm me down.
I know,
calm
but it was
you down.
I was at my little box, like tuna, you know, and I'm like, oh man, there's Jay. I was like, nah,
I'm sure that is important.
oh shoot, sorry.
What you were trying to say.
I don't know where we're at. Let's go here.
I'm sure that was important. There we go. That thing that you were trying to say. But it's the part of the show right now for the one that got away.
God, dude, just
Thanks, man.
Sweet.
Sorry, I had to
vocals
throw that
of
on
Reid
you.
Isbell.
Here at the God's Country Podcast, we get a lot of these in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it going. So I'm always looking for those.
Wrap it up.
We do this thing called the one that got away. Yeah, and
That one would have got away.
we kinda,
Sorry.
He gone.
That's how y'all do it. Y'all go from the chest.
it could be a fish, it could be a deer, a song, a girl, but y'all both married, so not girls.
Not recommended.
Yeah.
Don't do a girl.
So
that could get us in trouble.
Yep. Jordan, hit us with the one that got away.
So probably 2016, 2017, I was going in to make my first record. And our buddy Dave Turnbull had just wrote a song and sent it over to me. And he's like, man, if you're taking any outside songs for this record, this is one I just wrote.
2016, this is when that has happened.
I think so. It had to be 20 because I was
Dave
going
Turnbull
for
and,
my
and
first
Mr.
album.
Randy Montana.
8 years
Yeah.
ago, yeah.
And Dave was like, man, I wrote this with Randy Montana the other day and I love it. He sends it over. I listen to it. And it is currently Luke Combs' single that I totally kind of squandered.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm blanking on the name of it.
Where the Wild Things
Where
Are.
the Wild Things Are.
Where the
Yeah.
Wild Things Are.
Was it there?
My big brother drove an
you're
Indian
in
Scout.
My big brother throwing Indian Scout.
His black like his jacket.
I don't know where I'm doing.
American spirit hanging out of his mouth. Just like our daddy. Minor.
He kick-started that. Is that it?
Yep.
Night and broke mama's heart. Pointed his headlight west, out where the wild things are. Yeah, sent that to me.
What's the chord?
I listened to it. What's it? Yeah. Hearts on fire and gasoline. Oh, nights ignite like gas.
There it is.
Light up them streets and never sleep when the sky goes dark. Out where the wild things are.
So
8 years ago.
Listen to that
Jam.
song
golly.
on repeat. And I called Dave. I'm like, dude, this is unreal. And he was worried about at the end of the song, the brother dies.
Right.
He's like, yeah, man, I think it's going to be, I don't know if you can kill anybody in a song. And I was like, hey, I'll cut it. I sent it in. Couldn't get my team to get really super excited about it.
Yeah.
So it just lived until the biggest thing in country music made it a big hit.
Well, you know,
He
Eric,
sure did.
Eric Church had that song
That's right,
for
dude.
Did he?
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He held it for a while. I don't know how long exactly, but I mean, there for the longest, it was like, no, nobody can cut this. Eric's cutting it. And then it came off, and Luke was like, I think I'm going to cut Wild Things. I was like, bro.
That song lived around
killer.
town for a
It's a
long
killer.
time.
So long, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how mad Dave and Randy would have been if Jordan Davis would have cut that?
And it's just sitting on a record somewhere, bro. You know what? That's so
say
cool about
that.
this town, though, man. And I know y'all will agree. That's one of the things. Like, we hear these songs, great songs, when they find a place, when they get to see the light of day, it's a win for everybody.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude.
You know, because
Yeah.
we write so many of them that we're like, man, you go home, you hang your hat on that day, and you're like, man, I wrote my tail off today, and I believe in that song. Chances are, it doesn't
Might not get
ever
heard.
get out.
Yeah.
It's all that.
Chances
or
are.
a song come out, from whoever. Like the first thing I do is go to the song credits and look at the writers.
Same.
And like truly get for some. But like most of them,
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, man,
yeah.
Dan and
Oh,
Reid,
dude.
Writers
let's go,
love
bro.
with pride.
Like,
I feel like most writers love to see riders win.
Absolutely.
I love to see the rider win.
Absolutely. I pull just like with you boys, man. It's like y'all first having, kind of love we make together.
Yeah.
I was like,
man, that was freaking
come
cool,
on, man. Like that
cool.
was
pretty
that's special.
Well, yeah, y'all did it. Your first one was
with him,
man.
Yeah.
And that is like you can't script that. You can't dream. I mean, you can dream of that, but the dream is you're thinking it's never going to happen.
I know.
And then,
because Reid, in all honesty, it is like a dream.
Absolutely,
dude.
man. No doubt.
Get up and write a song.
Yeah.
I mean, look where we're at, bro. We're brothers. We're sitting here talking.
We've been
about
talking about
country
music and hunting.
I know.
On a Monday
And we're
morning,
gonna go write a
man.
song here in 20
and then
minutes.
y'all about to go write songs. Hopefully it's good, and if it is, send it to me.
Bro, I'm sending you everything.
No, I'm saying because it's got to go through him, and he's too much of a buffer. Dude. He keeps that tight.
Don't be like that. That
he's
ain't
like,
true.
nah, I'll send it. Yeah, send it to
No,
me.
he
that is not
sent me
true.
stuff that I think that y'all have started. That I'm like, dude,
100%.
don't.
Come on, you like him?
If he's on it, yeah, he'll get to you if he's on it for sure.
Jago, y'all send him something that's good. He's like, well, I'm gonna pocket that one. I don't think little bro needs to hear that.
Crap,
Let's
dude.
talk
Y'all
about
so full of crap.
greatest country song of all time.
Greatest country song of all time.
Yeah, we'll get one from you, one for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a God's country playlist on whatever and put songs that people say on there.
I figure it'll be on
my favorite song, and maybe just because I'm like listening to it a ton right now, dude. Tom Douglas's Little Rock.
Great one, dude.
I love that song.
Yeah,
Dude, mine.
Not Colin Ray, but
yeah,
it's great.
Coming home from the farm yesterday, just by myself, dude, and I just had the Prime Country on, and this just hit me, and I just remembered how much I love this song. But dude, Tracy Lawrence, If the World Had a Front Porch.
Yeah, man.
It's like
was that been done yet or no?
I'm about to say that had
Somebody
to be
did
done.
a Tracy Lawrence.
Yeah, but not that
Time
one.
Marches On. They did
Yeah,
Time
Time
Oh,
Marches
I
On.
love that song.
If the world had a front porch,
porch like we did back then.
what was it?
We still have our problems, but we'd still all be friends.
Treating your neighbor like
he's your next of kin.
What would it not
Wouldn't
be?
be gone with the wind if the world had a front porch like we did back then.
Gas,
That's
dude.
right.
It's the
That's
verses
right,
of that
dude.
song, though.
Yeah.
Oh, let's
I'ma
think about the
sit
verses.
on
What
that
are the
old porch
verses?
swing with her crochet. It was where Granddaddy taught me
You
how
made me
to
do it,
cuss,
man.
how to pray. And it was where we made our own ice cream.
How's the verse?
It was where my mama
sat on that
old swing with her crochet. And it was where Granddaddy taught me how to cuss, how to pray.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And it was where we made our own ice cream on sultry summer nights.
Come on now.
This one.
where the bulldog had her puppies and us brothers had our fights.
Yeah, dude.
There were many nights I'd sit right there and look up at the stars. Through the sound of a distant whippoorwill or the hum of a passing car.
Come on, bros.
It was where I first got up the nerve to steal me my first kiss. Where I learned to play guitar and pray I had to give. If the world had a front porch like we did back then, we still have our problems, but we'd all be friends. Treating your neighbor like he's your next of kin. Wouldn't be gone with the wind.
This is where I go to my 90s country boy.
If the world had a front porch
Get it, bro.
like we did back then.
Dude, Tracy had such a
Money,
unique
man.
voice, man. Like,
Money.
Dude, I love
Tracy
that song.
Lawrence.
yeah.
I played a gig one time, and a guy walked up to me and was like, "Hey, man, you boys good. Come outside with me." We were like, "Oh, no, this is where we die." Right?
Oh, this is where we
We walked out Grenada, Mississippi. I'll never forget it. My buddy walks out there. Guy goes, hold out your hand. I was like, oh, this is where we die. And I hold my hand out, and he drops like 7 pills in my hand. Some of them are like in half, and some of them are like crushed up. He just
Boys ready to
drops them.
party.
Yeah. He's like, take him on your ride home. Oh, and I got one more thing. And I was like, we're dying. Here's where we die. And he gives me a CD, and it's a silver burned CD, and it says Tracy, Tracy, Lance, Larnce, like Lance with an R. He's like, popping pills, listen to that on your ride home. So Of course.
So you didn't pop the pills.
Didn't pop the
Yeah,
pills.
thank God.
But we did pop the CD in, and it was Tracy Lawrence all the way home.
Lawrence.
So we went back to my brother-in-law, Jason's house. We were going up 55 to stay in Jackson, who you met.
I like him.
Great guy. We get up there. He's a doctor. And I was like, I'll wake up the next morning. I put my jeans on. I put my hand pocket. I was like, oh, yeah, I got these. I want to see what these are. So I take them down there, and I put them on the table. And I was like, obviously throw these away. But, like, what are these pills? He was like, oh, that's Crisperdal's muscle relaxer. That's half an Oxycontin. That's 2 Advil. And that's a fourth of a Viagra. He had put a Viagra in there.
Bro.
Dude, the concoction. Man.
It was
That's been a wild ride
party
home,
concoction, dude. You got a backache? Taken care of.
Tracy's
you
like,
want a
dude.
trip? Got
Yeah.
you. Listen to Tracy Lawrence on the way home? Money. Hell of a ride home.
Hell of a ride.
Like, we would have died, dude.
Hey, Tucson Too Late's flying up the charts,
Sorry.
man. Yeah, Tucson Too Late's flying up
Davis
the charts.
Bros.
Y'all
Come
both
on.
on it. Hey, thanks for coming in, man.
Dude, thank
we
you
love
so
you, boys.
much.
Y'all
We'll have
know
to do
that.
this
Yeah,
again.
seriously.
I
Y'all
can't
know that.
believe it's been an hour 15.
Let's do it again, man.
This is one of the
back.
first times we've all four hung out in kind
I know.
of this
I know.
environment, and,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need to be. We need to do this more often. This
That's
is a
right.
lot of fun.
Let's go chase some turkeys.
Hey,
Yurt.
we talk about it.
I know
We
a
talk-
couple brothers that know how to chase them.
Yeah.
So
Chase some turkeys or catch some crappie.
Hey,
I'm
we
in
love
on all
doing
those.
both of them
There you
things.
go.
Thank y'all for coming. Love you. We love you.
The Davis
Love you boys,
Bros.
man.
we love y'all.
Thanks for hanging out in God's country.